So I knew that I wanted to do some work that was linked, of course, to bone marrow transplantation, because that was my clinical focus. But I also knew I want to do something that is not a crowded area, right? I'm sure that you've heard many, many times that if you pick a topic for your lab, you want to pick something that is not so crowded, where other people aren't working already. And of course, the famous phrase, you want to go where the puck is going, right?
Yeah.
And Gretzky. So what I thought then is one of the major problems in allogeneic bone marrow transplantation is that the pace by which the T cells come back, right? The T cell reconstitution. We don't have any therapies. We don't have anything for it, right? That's why these patients live for 2 years, like AIDS patients, basically very vulnerable, and so on and so on. So that's what I picked as my initial subject matter. Actually, one of the first things that I was focused on was trying to develop a therapy for it. And the therapy that we picked, I still think it's the best therapy, is recombinant IL-7.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much you know about that cytokine.
No, please tell me.
But that is a cytokine that basically from start to finish, from the earliest precursor of a T cell all the way up to a mature T cell, is a constant growth factor. It upregulates BCL2, right? Mm-hmm. So that these T cells don't die that quickly, and so on and so on. And I was able to figure out where the patent was for IL-7. Was sitting with Sanofi, a French company. They hadn't done anything with it. And I was sort of poking around like, well, is anybody working on it? So finally we found a scientist there who was just splitting off to set up his own company. Long story short, this was, 2000. We're now 25 years later. IL-7 continues to be a very promising drug with low toxicity, efficacy at low doses, tested in 400, 500 patients from different kinds. So we have AIDS patients, end-stage liver disease, cancer patients, and so on. Everywhere meets its mark, meets its targets, but has been completely mismanaged by biotech companies and big pharma, and therefore still is not available for our patients, although it clearly works. So what I learned from that is, first of all, that I had no clue, certainly when I started, how to actually develop a drug, and that is a whole field on its own.
Sure.
And that nobody should think that, oh, if I'm a physician scientist, I know something about a clinical, so if I have an interesting finding, I'm going to develop it. No, there's a whole art to that. You really need experts for that. And second, that I don't want to give up on it. So we're still trying now. I've gone back to this kind of work now to come up with a new formula for IL-7 to see if we can get it again into the clinic. It works.